All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Eric, excuse me, with American Business Systems, and we want to welcome you to this afternoon's webinar on how ABS coaches you to success. So as you can see here, we've got our Swiss Army knife of marketing plans and business solutions and money and plan and teamwork and all the goals there. So we're going to try to cover as much as we can this afternoon in an hour. Also want to tell you thank you for joining us the day before Thanksgiving. I know a lot of folks are traveling today and trying to get food ready for tomorrow. There's some that wanted to be on here but is not going to be able to hear us, so that's why we're recording it today, and we'll get that out. But for those that are on here today, thank you for joining us. And we still have folks coming on in here. But as we get started here, if this is your first time to join us, you'll notice up in your little control panel for your go-to webinar, there's a little picture of a hand right there. We're going to ask you to click on that if you don't mind. That will let us know that you can hear us. So if you'll start clicking your hand right there, and I see Gary, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Roger, good to have you here. Landy, good to have you here again. Karen, good to have you here this afternoon. Let's see, who else we've got? We've got Glenn and Ruth and Sanala, and there are some other folks coming in. And so if we spend all of our time listening to everybody, we'd be here for another 5 minutes or so. So thank you for doing that. Now, also, we want to give you an opportunity to ask questions. You'll see, again, there's a little question section there that you can click on that will open up in this question box, and you can type your question in right here. So folks, as we go through the presentation today, even as we get started, if you'd like to start typing in some of your questions, we'll answer those as we get to those certain topics throughout the presentation today. But again, we want to make sure that your questions are answered as we go through this presentation today. Again, my name is Eric Auger. I'm the Director of Research and Development here at American Business Systems. That gives us the luxury of understanding what our licensees actually go through. Everything from getting clients to working through all of our systems, and so that's why we've got that part of ABS going. We want to tell you how to get to know us. There are many different ways, as you'll see here. First of all, we want to let you know that we just won one of the top awards and top franchise awards with Franchise Direct this last year, and so this is our last plaque that we've received from them, and so we wanted to share that with you and let you know that you guys are at least on the right track of looking for some of the top businesses here in America. If you haven't yet gone out to our website is absystems.com. Through there, you'll be able to learn about us, go through the business package, the income potential, the news, and you'll find so much there on our website. But if you want to know more, that big old orange button that you see right there, click on that. That will get you over into what's called our virtual brochure. In our virtual brochure, there are several different sections, and within inside those sections, there are subsections to go through. In the opportunity, you'll get to know a little bit more about what the whole opportunity is about getting clients. We kind of go through that. And in those sections, there are some, there's information about the cost and monthly cost and everything that might go along with that. So you might want to check out that virtual brochure and go through that pretty extensively because there is a ton of information there. For those that would like to come visit us personally, here's our address, 5751 Kroger Drive in Keller, Texas. Now, Keller's just a little suburb north of Fort Worth, just a short drive from the airport, and we'd love to have you come on by and visit with us at any given time. Also, a lot of people ask us about where we stand with the Better Business Bureau. We do have an A+ rating here at the Fort Worth Better Business Bureau and have maintained that for quite some time now. Again, on our website, we have that place called our blog. On our blog, we have many testimonials, a lot of times of some training testimonials. There's a lot of times where Patrick does an interview with a licensee that has already gone through our system, gone through our training class, and have gotten clients. Check out our video blog. You'll be happy that you did go through all of that. And those that want to follow us on Twitter, is our handle there is at AB Systems. So just check us out there. That'll be the best way for you to keep up with any news that's in our business here at American Business Systems, whether it's new webinars that you may have missed, or video blogs, or anything like that, or even some articles that Patrick has written. Folks, our next training class is literally right around the corner, and this is our last training class for this year. It is November the 9th through the 13th. I just had someone just about an hour ago ask us if we have some room available. I think we have 3 to 4 seats left available for this particular class. So if you can make this December class, please, we'd like for you to join us. Give us a call. We'll see what arrangements can be made. Now let me introduce you to our founder and CEO of our company, Patrick Phillips. Some of you have talked with Patrick. Some of you have been able to read some of his articles. And there are some articles that we're going to post right here. There's a couple of them from BC Advantage here, and you'll see that this one is written on the bright future of medical billing companies. There's another one that was just recently posted also with BC Advantage, and what to look for in a practice management software. Again, you can see written by Patrick Phillips, the founder and CEO of American Business Systems. Folks, this is not just some little magazine that goes out to a few folks. This is a nationwide magazine that actually goes out, this Billing and Coding Advantage magazine. And another magazine that has just picked him up is the HBMA. That's the Healthcare Billing Management Association. This is their Billing Forum magazine. And here is another article that Patrick's written. You need to adopt in order to survive. Now, this has to talk about everything about healthcare, about an EHR, which we have, and certainly you are able to view and watch it with us through a demo if you'd like to see what ours looks like. He's also published, he's a published author. He's written 2 books here, How to Reprogram Yourself for Success, which you can find that book on Amazon, and the one to your right, Cash Crunch to Cash Flow, also written by Patrick Phillips, and can be found on Amazon.com as well. So that book is very important for you as a licensee because that's part of your marketing campaign, as you will talk a little bit about today. But let me bring Patrick on the call today because we're going to talk about how ABS coaches you to success. So Patrick, it's good to have you here this afternoon, the day before Thanksgiving here. So let's see if we can get your video on. There we go. Here we go. I believe he's just about to come on. There he is.
Thank you, Eric. Okay. Well, let's get into this today because I have this question asked a lot. What makes you guys different, from any other medical billing course that I see online, or some of those schools, that offer different classes and things like that, or even local college classes that you can take to learn how to do medical billing? The real question is, what is it that distinguishes ABS differently from those people? And I think this topic about how we coach you to success certainly makes us stand out, don't you, Eric?
I think so too. I think a lot of people are asking about when they get into this business, what do they get? What marketing pieces do they get? What kind of training do they get? But I think as we'll see here today, we're going to be kind of talking what you get after the fact you become a licensee and after you've kind of gone through training. And even once you become a licensee, the first place that we open up to you is our ABS licensee support site. Patrick, let's talk a little bit about our secured website there for our licensees.
Yeah, when we first started talking about putting this up, we've only had it for maybe, I don't know what, Eric, 4 or 5 years maybe, where we've really fully developed this website. Folks, there are franchises out there, and I'm sure some of you have been researching different business opportunities and franchises that don't have what we have. They have not put the money and the time and the effort into developing something for their franchisees that we have for our licensees. This is a marvelous site, and you're looking at a screenshot of it actually right here. As you can see, it's got all kinds of great things about it. Let me see if I can get our little pin here, Eric, and I'll show them. For example, we've got live help online right now. Our licensees can go to this website. Of course, they have to have a login, a password, and ID that we give them. but they can get live help and chat with our support people anytime. We have a toll-free number that they can call, as you can see right there, and then we have email support. So we've just about got the bases covered, I think, except for faxes, and I don't know if anybody uses faxes now.
Right. And folks, this site is up and running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Certainly, there are times when you do need to get in touch with us, so that's why we have our phone number up there. That live help, as Patrick had said, that's available the same time Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So if you just need a quick little answer just to get on there, that's why we've got that up there. Patrick, let's kind of go through a couple of these sections here that we've kind of got listed out here on our website for the licensees as they get started.
Yeah, go ahead, Eric. You kind of did these. Why don't you go ahead and grab control? Just move to the next slide there. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. And then, the first place that you're going to want to get to is just kind of get involved here, and you'll see that underneath these the certain sections here have listed out all the different services. If you've got questions about iClaim, EMRX, Choice Pay, and under each of these, Patrick, we've got all of the contracts that are going to be needed for the licensees for their doctors.
Yeah, we've spent thousands of dollars on having attorneys work up these agreements that you'll need to be in business. And so, there's probably $50,000 worth of documents that we've developed that you don't have to develop. So again, folks, we're talking about how we coach you to success. So look, this site, remember, is just for our licensees once you become a licensee and have gone I started to say once they've gone through training, but they get access to this immediately. If they sent their paperwork and funds in today, they would have access to this. Well, I guess it'd be Monday now, but immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at this. I mean, here is a tool right here making a proposal. Talk to them about how that works there, Patrick. And we even have it right here. How do I make a proposal? I mean, we're here to help you close the deals.
Yeah, folks, we're all about helping you actually sign the doctors up. Remember, that's the hardest part about not just this business, but any business is getting clients. So over the last 20 years, we've developed specific ways that work in helping you to get that doctor. And one of the ways is, first of all, we kind of skipped one section here that we tell them about, but in the training, you'll learn how to do what's called a practice analysis. That will be a series of questions that you're going to ask the doctor or the office manager. And once you've got that information, you come back to your office and you actually put together a proposal. Now, we've already created templated, is that a word? Proposals that are in Word, Microsoft Word format. And you basically go in and just cut and paste what you want in your particular proposal. Then the neat part is that you get to pass that by our support people and let us look at that for you and make sure that everything is right, that your pricing is right, and that you're saying the right things and so forth. So that is invaluable, folks. That helps you to get clients.
And another way that we certainly help you and support you to become successful, actually in the coaching aspect of it is this whole sales rep program or the direct mail program, or even showing you how to market yourself in trade shows. So folks, as you can see here, we've got just about every base covered as you can imagine just here on our licensee support site. Now this is just the tip really of the iceberg of what we're showing you here. Now I kind of skipped over the getting started portion of it because I wanted to kind of get back over here to it. Because as soon as, like Patrick said, as soon as you become a licensee, you're going to gain access to our licensee support site. And one of the first places you're going to want to come to is right here on how to create your website. Now, that's part of what you get as part of your licensing fee with us, that you're going to be able to come in here, create your own website. You just see right here how to do it, and now we're going to click on right here where it says see current available templates. So we're going to do that right now and show those templates to you. So that's going to bring you up to this section here. And in each one of these, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's several of these that you can choose from. And I'll just kind of give a quick little sample here about some of the other templates that you'll be looking at there. So, folks, this is what you're going to be able to do. A lot of people ask us, Patrick, what am I going to do before I get to training? Is there anything I can do? Absolutely.
Sure.
Go to the licensee support site and start working on your
And by,
setting
and
up
by,
your business
yeah.
right here.
And by the way, folks, if you've never, created your own website, look, that's why we've done this all for you. We guide you step by step to what it takes to register your domain name, like yourcompanyname.com. And then, of course, to get your email set up and your logo done and everything that you need, because in today's world, of course, you have to have a website or you're not really in business, right? So we get that done first, and you can do that even before you come to the training. This is Eric, this is something people would pay $2,000 to $5,000 to have developed, because we've already developed all of the sections that you see there in those little images have already been fully developed. So you've got all the graphics, you've got all the text, you've even got a form that people can fill out to contact you, and that email comes directly to you. It's a wonderful way to get your business up and running.
Well, at each of these little sections here today, Patrick, we want to kind of just again share some of the other things here in the licensee support site. I think one of our licensees did these videos here. This is medical billing, what's called 101, and you can see here, if I can get that pen to work like you showed me how to do that. This is part 1 of 5. And a lot of people ask Patrick to us, how am I going to learn all of this stuff in 5 days of just live training? Why don't you kind of talk to them about all these training videos that we actually have on our licensee support site?
Yeah, so what we decided many years ago, folks, is that we wanted the live training so that you've got the real hands-on experience. We bring in laptops. You're actually doing medical billing by the end of the first day in our class. But as you can imagine, this is not something that you can learn every detail that you need in the 5 days. So with these webinars and recorded sample training videos that are out on our licensee support site, you can take your time and learn at your own pace. So the 5 days is a great fast start way to get your business going, and then you can continue educating yourself as you have time, and the people who work for you, by the way, using these videos. There's probably, what, Eric, another 40 or 50 hours of videos on the website here. So in addition to the full week of training they get here, they get all this as well. Yeah,
I'm
this
just
was
clicking.
developed by the way, Eric. This series that you're showing here, this is a great series, by the way, medical billing step by step, was developed by Rene Hermes. He is one of our licensees who will do about 6 million in billing this year. So I think he knows what he's doing, don't you?
Exactly. That's what I'm glad you brought that up, because we're actually going to show a picture of him a little bit later. But this is invaluable information, folks. And again, so as you're thinking about getting involved with us, a lot of people ask, so what do I get for that $25,000, Patrick? And so I think as we've started off here this afternoon of how we're going to help coach you to success, folks, a lot of the coaching, as you'll see, is done one-on-one or sometimes in a big webinar like what we're doing today. But a lot of times we're going to point you right into these sections here, because you need to kind of sit through some of this information, and we want to coach you and get involved in all of this information. And this is accessible 24 hours a day. Now, not only do we have that as part of our licensee support site, but Patrick, let's talk to them about the forum. Now, this is pretty ingenious of what we've come up with as well. Now we're really engaged licensees with other licensees.
Right. This is another private website, again, that you'll have a login to. Actually, you access it through the licensing support site, but another login to this, very secure, only for our licensees, because, folks, we've opened up to you here basically our entire network. We have offices from coast to coast of people who've gotten involved in our business, and they're on here posting questions and answering questions. So you have a network of our own licensees that you are connecting with and corresponding with through this private forum. It's a marvelous resource, again, that most franchises don't even have this.
You're right, and again, this gives you the opportunity to ask questions very specifically and get posted out there, and then get those responses back at pretty doggone quickly. Now, Patrick, we've kind of gone through. I mean, gosh, we're already in this for 20 minutes here, and we've gone over the licensee support site. So we'd like to take a few questions here. There's a question that came in here from John, and John's asking the question about the websites. So when he gets inside the licensee support site and all those templated websites, will he be able to put his logo directly onto the website?
Yes, in fact, it's simpler than that. You upload that, attach it to an email to us. Our technical support people actually put it on the website for you.
Good. And then one more question that has come in about the licensee support site, and that's on the marketing tools that are in there. Just the biggest question is, from Sue. Sue's asking the question about the marketing tools. Will it have, again, not only those the contracts, but what about the step-by-step procedures of getting that prospect or that doctor online with each one of those services?
Yes, in fact, it's even better than that. Once you have signed up a doctor, we have a whole series of uh, tutorial videos that you can go through and that you can give access to the doctor and or his or her staff so that they can go through those. So little, 1 to 3, 4, 5 minute videos that show you every section of the billing system so that you don't have to even train the doctors. We're training them for you, basically.
And one more question here, Patrick. This is from Shakat. He's asking, do you get into the legality of name registrations?
Yes, during the live training, in fact, Chicago, I actually pay an attorney to show up during that live workshop, and she's there in the evenings after hours to meet with you on an individual basis. At no cost to you, she will talk to you about what you need to do to get your particular business registered and set up.
Matter of fact, isn't she available if once you become a licensee, she can actually take your call prior to coming to training?
Yes, in fact, the licensee welcoming email that goes out actually has her contact information in there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, very good. All right, well, we want to keep going here because we don't want to run out of time and get to our next section here. And let's see if I can. Things are running just a little bit slow on my end, so let's make
Yeah,
sure.
there it
There
is.
we go.
Yep.
The live training workshop. We've said a lot so far about the live training workshop, and this is important. So first of all, we've got the licensee support site, which you can get into as soon as your paperwork is done. Get your website. Now the next step on how we coach you to success. Gosh, Patrick, people have been successful right after the 5 days of live training. So let's start talking about this.
We used to say, that the soonest someone had signed up a doctor after training was like, 30 days. And then we had one guy in the next week sign one up. And 2 trainings ago, we had somebody sign up a doctor. I mean, literally had them online, was doing their billing before they got to the training. So that's how fast it can be for people. Folks, this live training is, again, very unique in the industry. There is no other company that does what American Business Systems does. And that is, we take the time to spend 5 days with you at a hotel in a nice, comfortable environment, going through step by step how this business works. You will feel comfortable after the first day that you can master our billing system. That's how user friendly it is. I mean, we're guiding you, hand holding you through that step by step. Eric shows and teaches a lot of sessions on the system itself. He's showing here, for example, how a doctor can actually access this from their iPad or any tablet or even their iPhone if they wanted to. I guess it'd be kind of tiny, but you could. And so this live training workshop is very unique, folks, because think about it. You're there with, anywhere from maybe 10 to 15 other people that are asking questions that you probably wished you had thought of but didn't. And we give specific times at the end of each section that we go through so that those licensees can ask those questions. We usually have more than one instructor, of course. We have a lady who's coming down this December from the Phoenix area, Cynthia Anderson. She's going to be teaching. She's been in this business 5 years. She has like 11 or 12 doctors, I think, and It could be more than that by the time she gets down here this week. There are interactions between you and other members of the class. You'll begin to know these people after 5 days. You'll be eating lunch with them. You'll get to know them after hours at our little beer and wine gathering at the end of the days. And you'll be able to interact with those people using hands on. The way you learn is to listen, hear, and then do. And so we give you some hands on interactions with those people as well. You'll be able to get, again, on a voluntary basis. We don't embarrass anybody here. You volunteer if you want to get up and share what you and your partner came up with during that session. I'm there, of course, in and out throughout the week, and I do a couple of sessions myself as well as Eric. But we have other instructors who are brought in on a guest basis via Skype. They actually appear up on the screen you see there. You'll see their face and hear their voice through our loudspeaker system. And it's just a wonderful way for you to gather everything you need to know in 5 days to get kick-started.
All right, let's take a few questions about training here. And here's a great question. I don't think we've ever been asked this question on a webinar. And Ebnul, hopefully I said your name properly. Do you have live training in New York or a plan there in the future?
No, we don't. And the reason for that is because we have found it very expensive to do something like that. Let's say we came up and did a live training there and we only had you and maybe one or two other people. That's very expensive to move our entire company basically and staff and all the equipment and materials. So we've just decided the best way is to have it one place. That's right near our office here. What would you say, Eric? It's about 30 minutes from our office, the hotel is. So you fly in and you stay here in that hotel. The training's done in that hotel. We get started at 8 o'clock sharp every morning, and we're there till 5 or 5:30 every evening. And it's the bonding experience that you have with those other people. So no, we have you come to us. That's the best way we found to do the training to keep it economical.
All right. Joseph is asking the question about will we need to bring our own laptops?
No, you're certainly welcome to bring a laptop. However, we don't allow the laptops in the class. Now, you can bring an iPad or a tablet. The difference is because for most people, you don't have a loud keyboard. You're not typing during the class. We have plenty of notes and notebooks that we give you for taking notes, and we have a huge manual. I may have one here somewhere around the office that I can show you. But anyway, great way to do that. Now, in your room, of course, at night, there is free internet there in the hotel. So you can connect and do your business at night there, but you don't have to bring those. The laptops that you saw, we bring in for those hands-on experiences.
And then Sherry's asking, are we going to be doing a lot of hands-on? Is that an everyday occurrence? Is it going to be actually on the computer every day of that live training?
No, that's just the first, Eric? Maybe the first half of the first day, the second half of the first day, and the first half maybe of the second day, you do some hands-on. It's enough, though, believe me. By the end of the day on Monday, if you want some more hands-on, you can certainly have all you want. We'll stay there as late as you want. In the room, we have it till midnight if that's what you want to do, and you can certainly do that. Remember, folks, though, you're not going to learn everything about the system in this class, but we're going to give you access to training videos that take you through every step of the session, the system itself, that you can get off the licensee support side.
Well, that was actually one of my last questions I was going to ask you, because Glenn was asking, do you have on-demand training as well? For very specifically, so if once a partner, maybe they get another partner and they want to teach that.
Sure.
So Glenn, what you're going to do is get the videos of a previous training, and those are divided into sections, Patrick, if I'm not mistaken. They're divided into sections that you can, give them the proper one as they go through it. But the other on-demand type of training there, Glenn, or some of those videos that we showed you earlier in the licensee support site, like that medical billing 101, the medical billing 201, 202, and those things there. Those are all online. Those are set. But sometimes after each training, you get a video of a previous training. So that will help you get that to your partner or your business partner. All right, let's keep going, man. We're already at the bottom of the hour. It's unbelievable that
Wow.
it's going here. All right, let's talk about demos for your prospects. Patrick, I've said this to you. I've said this to other people. How do you even put a price tag on
You
on
can't.
this?
No. There's
Uh,
no other company or even a franchise that I know of that will actually help their licensees by actually doing a live demo. You don't do it. We do it. Our technical people will get online with you and a doctor or an office manager to actually show the system. Now, the reason we're doing that is because we want you to actually see, and the doctor to see, how high tech we are, how leading edge, how all the different cool bells and whistles we have that are going to help him solve his revenue problem. So why do you set up the demos? First of all, to set yourself apart from the competition. There is no other company that we know of that does this for licensees.
I
Secondly,
love this, Patrick, is
yeah,
because a lot of people start this business just by themselves, and so
right.
let's just take you or me for instance. If we're starting this business and just us getting it started, um, it looks good upon your part to have a business associate of yours to actually do these demos. So it actually creates that larger than life of scenario here.
Yeah, like this bullet point says, it establishes you as the expert and as someone that's much larger than just somebody working out of their spare bedroom doing medical billing. You're a part of a nationwide network. We do thousands of claims every day for hundreds of doctors from coast to coast. And so it does make you look a lot larger when you say, I'll have to get one of my tech support guys to set up a demo for us. It also shows the doctor, like I said earlier, exactly why you can increase their revenue. You're going to see things yourself when you see a demo of the system that will blow your mind. Isn't that the one thing we hear the most, Eric, is from the doctors throughout this whole demo is wow.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
because here is, folks, you're not dealing with a server-based type software. We're dealing with a very highly sophisticated web-based software, uh, very high security levels, um, very robust.
HIPAA
Patrick,
compliant.
you HIPAA compliant. You know that I've been on a couple of demos this last week with some of the new things that are coming out, and some of the new things that folks. For those that are on the call right now, let me kind of give you a hint of where we're going. Patrick and I are going to do a webinar in the next couple of weeks to show you how we will be one of the top 1% of the companies going into 2014 that is actually going to leave others behind. And folks, I'm telling you, other electronic medical record systems that are out there are not prepared going into 2014, and they're not prepared for all the new codes that have to come out. We are one of the top 1% of all EMR systems out there that have actually ready and been approved going into 2014. Folks, we keep saying every year we are better positioned than the year before. And folks, there is no better time going into 2014 than for us to help you position you in this type of business.
That's right. Oh, back to that last point, by the way. Doctors like to view the latest technology. So, one of
Yeah.
the draws to doing this demo is to draw them in and say, let me show you the latest in electronic medical records and e-prescriptions and online eligibility and all those things that the doctors have heard of but don't have, most of them. And
Hey,
so even
let
when
me
they think that their billing is okay and under control, they still like to see these demos. So it's a good way to, you know, trick them into seeing what we've got.
let's go one more little step further there, Patrick. Some people might be on the call that understand what we're going to talk about here real quickly, and that is the shift from the diagnosis codes going from ICD-9s to ICD-10s.
Right.
Folks, our system is already loaded with the ICD-10s. What does that mean for you? That if you get one of your doctors on our system, you can actually help them map out now going from ICD-9s to ICD-10s. Folks, there's where one of your advantages is going to be. And that's how we will be able to show that to you as we're coaching you to success through our system here. So how do you do that? Well, you're going to go online and you're going to fill out this particular form here, and you're just going to basically fill out some basic information and get that turned into our support team. And then you're going to fill out another form, or it can be done either in that format or electronically. Go right on to the licensee support site, type this information in, and we will send you the information there that you can get your doctor set up on that demo. So let's see if we got any questions coming in from here. Let's see.
So
let's
Eric,
start. Yeah, go right ahead.
while you're looking at that, let me just say this, guys. One of the neat things about us doing the demos for you is we're there to answer all the questions. You don't have to worry about getting caught and not knowing the answer to a question, because we're on there and there's no question that any doctor could ask that we don't know the answer to. That's just because we've been doing this for 20 years.
All right. How about this question that has just come in from Tanya? And Tanya is asking the question about the online demos. And the question is, does she have to be at the doctor's office, or can she still be at her office? How does that play out?
Yes, we use the GoToMeeting technology that we're using for this webinar here, Tanya. So yes, you could be anywhere in the world. The doctor could be anywhere in the world. Our technology people could be in California or Texas or Florida. It doesn't matter where. Now, the ideal is, if it is a local doctor, of course, is for you to be there in the office to help them get set up and prepared, to get a conference phone ready to go, so everybody could ask questions and that kind of thing. But it's not absolutely necessary because of the technology. Folks, with the technology we've got nowadays, we're doing a seminar here basically online with you live today, with dozens of other people. And so that can always be done through using the right technology. Yes.
Well, you talk about reaching across in places. Juan is living in Puerto Rico. He's asking the question. He says, I'm in Puerto Rico, and most doctors here speak Spanish as their primary language. Can we set the demo up in Spanish? I don't see why we couldn't. We would just need to get a translator on there, Juan, and I don't think there's any problem. I know that the system's being used down there already, so I think that could certainly be done as well.
Sure.
So, folks, in our technology time that we live in now, whether we're right down the street, because again, Landy's asking the question, how do you get clients in other states? This is how you do it.
Well, we have
how you do it is just how we're doing it right now, and how we'll do those demos for you online as well.
Yeah, we have licensees with clients in a dozen different states. And the way that works is, let's say you sign up a doctor locally, that doctor has a friend that's in another state. Well, because we don't use paper, there's no paper involved in this at all, guys. Everything is done electronically through the internet. Then it doesn't matter where that doctor is. You can get him set up and start doing his billing and have everything being transferred electronically through, the cloud.
Exactly. All right, let's talk about support. And this is where we're going to actually talk about so many levels of support. The first one, like we've already talked about, folks, if you need to talk to somebody live and have just a one-on-one conversation, Patrick, this is whenever it gets for those licensees who are preparing those documents for those doctors, the proposals. Our support team, Casey, just does a fabulous job of stepping our licensees of getting those proposals out. Let's kind of share a little bit about what you've seen Casey do with some of those folks there.
Yeah, Casey is our director of support, and it's his job to make sure you get the right support. So, folks, his support team consists of over 150 people. We have technology partners behind all of our services, and those technology partners are all people that are on our support team. So there's not a question, again, that you can come up with that we can't answer. In fact, we even pay some of our licensees that have been in business and been proven successful in the business. Some of them will actually do some of the support and the coaching for you. So we've got you covered when it comes to support, believe me.
And that's just the live support. And let's talk about the other levels of support that we have here. And kind of going back to what Glenn asked earlier about on-demand type training. I don't think you can get better on-demand training than this ongoing live training that we have.
No,
Folks, we're doing a webinar like what we're doing for you right now. These are some of the things we covered just for our licensees.
That's right. These are actual webinars, at least an hour long, some of them longer, that we've done this year for our licensees. So, folks, why is it that we can do this for that one-time lifetime licensing fee? It's because we make money on all of the services that you offer to your doctors. It's a few pennies on each transaction. So, are we interested in you being more successful? Yes. That's why this is ongoing. Our licensees have had this kind of training on a regular, ongoing basis for years. Some of them have been with us for 10, 15 years and are still attending these at absolutely no cost.
We had one just the other day on some of the things that we were talking about going into 2014. Named Patrick, we had nearly 100 folks on that one webinar alone, and that was during the day. And we do record these,
right.
So they get hit all the time. So if you want to know how to get to the yes, go look that one up on the licensee support site. You want to know how to do a practice analysis walkthrough, that's already on there. So we are you talk about continual education.
Yeah,
I think we've got one of the bigger continual eds going on in America right now.
We do. And then we have our YouTube channel that's out there where we actually post all of these different things that our licensees have access to 24/7. So yes, your training goes on and on and on with ABS because, again, we've set our model up correctly. That's why we've been in business for 20 years. Think about it, folks. We've seen businesses come and go, haven't we, Eric, that have been similar to ours, trying to support people. And what they really do is they get that upfront licensing fee, and that's all they care about. They don't care about the success of their actual licensees. So they don't invest like we do in having their ongoing training like this.
Right, and folks, this training that we do, you can see that, first of all, our training is in a large classroom, and then we can bring it down to, guess what, a one-on-one Skype with Patrick. How much better can you have than that?
Yeah, I've done many of these, so have some of our support people, even other licensees, because, folks, again, all we're interested in is you getting that first client, doing a good job for that client, getting referrals from that client to other clients, and then just building your business as big as you possibly can.
Patrick, I don't know many CEOs, founders of companies that take time to do a one-on-one chat with licensees.
I love doing these. This is what I live for, Eric. Look, this is my home. I'm actually doing this live webinar today just like Eric is from his home. And the reason we can do that is because of the technology that we have. That makes us an even better company for you because I'm basically semi-retired. My son is the president of the company now and runs the company along with a great staff of a dozen other people. But the nice thing is that now I have the time to hold the hands of people that need that extra help. And we also have, like I said, other coaches that do that. For example, the lady I mentioned earlier is Cynthia Anderson. She's coming down to train this coming week. She's one of our trainers and coaches, we call them. That's because that's not spelled right, is it? Coaches? I don't know how that's supposed to be spelled. Anyway, the point is we got a lot of them. We got Sally Combest. Sally is a doctor, by the way, and she has mentored some people as well in this business. She is a licensee getting out of the clinical side of medicine and into she calls it the profitable side, which is, of course, the billing side. We have Jeanette Weiler, who's a certified professional coder. She knows these codes inside and out and can help and train and tutor people like that. We have Terrence Patterson, who has a degree in the medical health administration. He has been coaching some licensees as well. And of course, all of these are licensees. They're building their business as well, folks. It's not textbook or somebody that we just pulled off the street. These are people who know our business intimately. Marissa Cismala. Thank you. She is working with us for helping people credential new doctors, do all the paperwork with them. We've got Ian Gary, one of our technology partners, that appears live at our live workshop trainings as well as over go-to meetings. And then, of course, there's me and Eric. We both do all the coaching that people need as well. So, guys, the reason we do these live webinars is to help to bond and get close to you and help you believe that we really are interested in your success. And that's why we do these ongoing webinars.
So here comes some questions. George is asking the question: how soon after training can I get a one-on-one with any of these coaches?
Well, you could have it the next Monday if you wanted to. I give out my personal business card with my personal contact information. Any of our staff will be glad to have a one-on-one with you as long as you need it. If you want it on a regular basis, we'll schedule that in. That's all included in your licensing fee, folks, because again, if we can get you successful and making transactions happen, we continue to make money on the back end. That's why we are still in business after 20 years.
Well, and kind of going in line with that, this is not a question, but why don't you also make sure that you share with everybody, because there's going to be people on the call that are just listening in because they're not here today. We understand because of the holiday that's tomorrow, but the reps that they're working with right now, we want them to be, we move from that particular rep over to support and to you and these other people. So let's make sure that's clear that although that we're available all the time, really your business coaches and your support team is the ABS support group.
That's right. Folks, again, when we say that we're all available, it means that we are willing to do whatever it takes. When Casey gets somebody he's been working with, and maybe they haven't quite been as successful as they'd like to be, and they'd like to take the next step, or Eric, get involved in that. We are here to support you and make you make this business whatever you want it to be.
Exactly. Yeah. Karen's asking the question about what about sales training? You want to talk a little bit because we didn't talk about what actually happens at the live training. We talked about the first 2 days. It's kind of hands-on. Let's talk about what happens for sales training.
Yeah, I think Eric mentioned earlier that we do have a sales rep program, and we kind of skip over that sometimes, Eric. That is very important, isn't it? That they realize that if you don't have the time or the inclination or the personality that you want to do any kind of sales yourself, then we have a sales rep program that teaches you how to find and hire sales reps and get them trained to go out and get you business and bring the signed contract to you. And the great thing is that these people work on a straight commission, so you don't have to put any money up front on these folks at all. Well, you might have to buy them some business cards, maybe.
But sometimes, I think a lot of people get a little concerned about maybe going out there and talking to people, Patrick. And I think what we find is once they come through that live training with us, I think people are pretty confident at that point that they can go do it on their own. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, everybody has the fear in this business, and again, any other business, that if I invest this money and go out there and can't get a client, what do I do now, right? So
Right.
we tell people, look, don't worry about the sales side of this. If you don't think you can sell and get somebody interested, there are I started to say retired. They're not retired, but they're employed, probably pharmaceutical reps, for example, that would call on doctors. Now, not their own doctors, but other doctors, so that they don't have a conflict of interest there. That they can bring you business because they know exactly how a doctor's office operates. They go in there and sit in the back room as they talk with the doctor and see the chaos that's going on there in the billing side of the business. People who sell cotton balls and rubber gloves and all kinds of things to doctors. There's all kinds of sales rep out there that call on doctors on a regular basis that will show you how to find those people and train them and hire them to go to work for you.
All right, here's a question that is, I think, kind of important, and this is, again, from Greg. Greg's asking the question, now, when you do like you've done your one-on-ones with some people, what are you finding out probably their biggest thing that they're not doing when they're trying to go out there and get those businesses.
That is the amazing thing is that you think we're going to come up with some kind of magical, wand. We wave a magic wand and all of a sudden somebody becomes successful. What we do is get those people focused. Folks, when you go through our week training, for example, how much of that do you think you're actually going to remember a month later? Well, I think the statistics are that it goes, down. Maybe you remember 80% the first week, and 50% the second week, and so forth, till it's down to almost nothing. So all we do really is refocus those people and make them accountable so that they're actually doing what we taught them to do. And then once they start doing that, all of a sudden, magically, they start getting clients or more clients.
All right. I hope I don't butcher this name. Talia asked the question, due to all the changes in the Medicare system, how can this continue to be a profitable business to start?
Well, we covered some of that in the last 2 or 3 weeks. You might look at some of our recorded webinars out there on our blog that was mentioned earlier. But to answer that, I can say this. The Affordable Care Act and the whole healthcare system that's out there right now, folks, is always going to be growing. It's always going to be changing. The good news is that will only bring another, 35 to 40 million uninsured Americans into the system. That means more claims for you to process because doctors will have to see more patients, right? And it doesn't matter whether it's a claim that's going through the exchanges that are being set up out there or through the government. Somebody still has to do the billing. For example, back in 1965, they came up with a type of universal health care for the United States. It was called Medicare. And Medicare was established so that people over 65 didn't have to pay. Well, that's what we're talking about with the Affordable Care Act, just more people in that kind of system. Well, guess what? The government didn't step in and all of a sudden say, we're going to start doing the billing for doctors. The doctors still have to bill Medicare. And many of our licensees do lots of Medicare claims. So no matter what happens, folks, there will always be a need for somebody to bill somebody so the doctor gets their money.
That's correct, and I think a lot of people are scared a little bit about what might be a single payer because you and I have kind of chatted about that this last week. But even let's just think about it. What if it does go to a single payer? Do you think the government's actually going to do the billing anyway? No. It will always. I think there'll always be a need for billers. Now, people will probably say, "Well, Eric, that's easy for you to say because you're in this business and maybe you're trying just to sell me on this." But folks, I mean, if they wanted to go to a single payer and the government do that, they would have probably done that way back then whenever Medicare was around. They would have just had the government do the billing for that. But we still have to do the billing for those doctors to get reimbursed.
Yeah, check with some of the big organizations out there that we've mentioned already, the Healthcare Billing and Management Association, HBMA. They will tell you they have a voice in Washington. They meet with the people that are at the very top of the whole healthcare thing. And they themselves have said recently that they see this private pay through insurance companies being around for many, many years to come. I don't see that ever happening in our lifetime. That's just not something that's in the future. But if it did happen, as Eric said, somebody still has to bill the government to have the doctor get paid. That's going to be either you or the doctor using their own staff, and it costs them a whole lot more than it does for you to do it. So,
hey, Patrick, Shakat is asking a question. We're going to kind of go back earlier on in one of the slides that we talked about. He's asking the question, how do you do an analysis for a doctor that will show that using the ABS system will actually save him money?
Well, we actually have a tool for that. We have an actual spreadsheet we've developed that once you've gotten some of that information from the practice analysis, again, you go back to your office, you plug these numbers into this spreadsheet, and it creates a printed report for you that you can take back to the doctor that bottom line shows them how much you're going to save them. Folks, one of the ways we do that is by reducing their rejection claim. A lot of claims are rejected that are sent through to the insurance companies. The average is around 33% in America. We can get that down to less than 2%. We can also
Exactly.
cut the cost for the doctor inside his own office, because instead of having to pay his staff and all the benefits that they have for their staff, we can cut that down to nothing. You get a small percentage of what you actually collect for the doctor. You see, the doctor's staff doesn't have any incentive to get the doctor any more money than what they just send the claims out, and whether they're paid or not, fine. Their pay is the same. Not so in your case. Your income is directly tied to how much money you get for the doctor. Do you see how that gives you a motivation that the staff doesn't have? And so you normally get a whole lot more in from the doctor than the staff can do it using their own system.
Speaking about collecting that kind of money, Ali is asking the question about after you've served the client, how does one get paid?
Well, that's very simple. We have licensees who, in their contract, and the sample contract that we give to you has in it a statement that says to the doctor, once you have received your report from me each month showing how much we collected for you, and by the way, you can give them a login to the system so they can see it for themselves to know that you're not making that number up, then you're going to draw the money directly out of their bank account through what's called an electronic funds transfer. You set that up with your bank or the doctor's bank, and it's simple to do. We'll show you how to do that, but you don't even have to bill the doctor. Now, we do have licensees who do send out a literal bill to the doctor and then say that if you don't contest this within the next 3 business days, I am going to draw that money out of your bank account. And that's the way it's done.
Now, Patrick, we're running out of time here. We've got about 4 more minutes to the top of the hour. Let's kind of go through. There's more questions here, folks. We're not going to be able to get to all of these questions. We could spend the next 10, 15 minutes, maybe the next 30 minutes going through these questions here.
Right.
Let's kind of get this part of it wrapped up here, talking about your 100% money back guarantee.
Yeah, a few years back, guys, I went to a seminar in another city, and it was a week-long seminar. And they said in writing that if you didn't like what you saw after the first day, that by the next day you could ask for your money back and leave and get all your money back. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. But you know what, Eric, we've got so much that we want our licensees to see and hear that I said, well, why don't we just extend that to the end of the week? And of course, as you know, the staff thought I was crazy. But folks, that's the way I would want to invest in something like this. In other words, let me come and see for myself and hear everything you have to share. All of your marketing ideas, all your proprietary information. Let me see all the details about medical billing. I'll decide at that point whether I want to invest or not. Now, we do have to have your funds before you come to training. We do have to have you make that commitment because we don't know that you've even got the money in the bank, right? So you do have to pay the license fee and come down here, but that's held in a attorney's trust fund. And if at the end of the week, well, here it is, I'll put it on the screen here. This is exactly how it reads in your agreement with us. If at the end of the training workshop, for any reason, you don't think this business is right for you, just simply tell any staff member and they'll arrange for you to receive a full refund of your license fee, folks. That's 100% of your money back. Now, I can't give you back the money you spent to get down here or the hotel bill for the week, but you shouldn't spend over $1,000 total for that. So I think that's being about as fair as it can be. And we've had 3 people in 20 years ask for that back during the training. So I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, and folks, we don't want to just be able to have this as a dangling carrot for you. This is true. We want you to feel comfortable. We want you to feel like your needs are being met during this week of training. And again, speaking of this training, folks, again, it is just right around the corner, and there is a few chairs left. The only reason that there's a few chairs left is because there were some people that can't make it to December. They were planning on getting here to December, but they've had to push it to January. So there have been a couple of seats made available. So if you are truly looking to get into this, because we were about to close this one down until some folks couldn't make it here. So if you want to get into this class, there is some room. So Patrick, let's tell everybody how to get back in touch with us here. Again, write down those dates, December the 9th through the 13th. Give us a call here at 866-565-8413. talk to us. We're here to help you and get all of your stuff. Even though that tomorrow's a holiday, somebody will, the I'm sure the phones will be forwarded to somebody. If you need to get in contact with us, there is always a way to contact us.
That's right. Hey, by the way, we're again, we hope